Well, it's 7 AM. I'm on a stretch of canal that I've fished a few times before, and it's always done me quite well for big grass carp. But when I say big grass carp, I mean, you're talking, are we fishing for them? Yeah, we are fishing for them with float gear, and also some other random species. So before we get down there, and all I've done so far is just put some bread on top, just to see if we can get them up on top in the first sort of half an hour. Which is how I have caught them in the past, but I have also caught them on the float down the edge. So during the day I've walked this stretch a couple of times, and just marked areas I've seen fish consistently. And there's a couple of spots. This one here is where I've seen the most, and then odd ones a bit further up, the odd ones a bit further down. But this spot here has been the most consistent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start off with just a bomb. And flake. And then we'll see if we can get some up on top. So just going to flick the bomb out first. It's quite a deep canal again. Now I feel this water level in here is up a lot more than it was before. I think they've probably pumped a bit of water in, or allowed the water level to come up here, because this feels like it is up. I'm sure it was a lot closer to the bottom before. I have brought the net. I brought a long net because I want to try and get them away from these lilies. I'm not seeing anything come up yet. But what we can do is we can potentially stalk some later. Because when you come down during the day, they're in the edges eating the weeds. You can see them. Anybody who says that grass carp don't eat weeds, they bloody do. I've watched them do it. You can see them tearing up the grass and the hydrilla. So the reason they're in Florida is the Florida Wildlife Commission, or Fish and Wildlife Commission, FWC, introduced them as a sort of herbivorous controller of hydrilla, which was filling up the canals, and they eat non-native plants, etc., etc. And the reason they want the canals free of weeds is because they manage all the water. It stops flooding, so they manage all these canals. They've all got locks and pipes and stuff on them, and they just move water around in massive, huge quantities. You know, and they can literally drain whole areas. So yeah, what they do is they want to keep it clear of weed, because the weed will obviously die and back up, sort of, you know, almost dam areas and stop water flowing through. So they need the channels sort of clear. There's no boat traffic on it. They don't have canal boats as such, even though they do call them canals. So yeah, that's why they do that. They put them in, and you know, as a result, they've got to quite a big size. So I've had them to just under 20. I've had lots, sort of 14, 15 pounds. But I've seen bigger. I think the state record is 75 pounds for grass carp, which is not to be sniffed at. But I don't know whether they still stock them. I've never seen really small ones. Mind you, I'm guessing not, and I'm sure some get eaten by gators and the various fish eating birds. But This stretch seems to have a pretty good head of them, and certainly walked it a couple of times on 2 separate days, and I've seen sort of 8 or 10 of them that look to be a decent size, but they do seem to hang around in certain areas, so let's see if that's the case. Also though, unlike the lead bottom baits, I've caught like big tilapia. I've even caught pacu down here, bluegills, Mayan cichlids. So yeah, but so the water level seems very full here. Definitely normally a lot further down the bank. I can normally sit down the bank, so probably about 3 foot of water on maybe. So I don't know whether that will make a difference. So in the morning they seem to, what I noticed last time was first light, which is sort of, sunrise is kind of now. So yeah, it's a bit light for 15 minutes before, so the sunrise to sort of 9, 10 a.m. is kind of the sweet spot, and then sort of late afternoon onwards. I've said this repeatedly, but it's like the 9th January now. Might even be the 10th. It's the 10th of January. I was tracking my days. And this is their winter, so it is cooler. And essentially it can be a bit hit and miss. You know, the fish are still moving around, don't get me wrong, but they're not on the top. And they've just had a cold front come through a week or so ago, so things are just starting to warm up again, I think, these last few days. So maybe they won't be on top, but we shall see. Certainly not seen a huge amount of fish topping. And it's strange because all these canals are all sort of interconnected, as I've said before. You know, they're all connected by pipes. You know, all the fish are in and everywhere. So like this lake behind us, you know, is connected to this canal. But you do seem to get hot spots. You'll get spots where, like here, you see odd peacock bass and odd largemouth. It tends to be mainly sort of cichlids, bluegills, so grass carp. I've seen mullet yesterday, swimming up and down. Tilapia. I've seen a couple of gar yesterday as well. You don't seem to see the typical, you know, species, whereas, you know, spots less than a mile away are just stacked with predators, and I think that is where it's where the small fish are. So I'm not seeing a lot of small fish topping in here. So like, you know, you expect to see lots of little things bitting and bobbing, but just not seeing that. It's fry, but nothing that I would call forage fish. Those sort of, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 inch fish. I've chucked bread on the top before when you see them come up. You kind of see some big boils just under the surface, and there's usually 2 or 3 that just graze. And you kind of just want to flick a bit of bait in. Once you've seen them take 2 or 3 pieces, flick a bit in on the hook, free lined on the top. And they'll usually take it. Something a bit bigger in the middle there. Hello. Hey, don't leave that. It's just like, it's here. Billy, where are you? Psst. Hello.
Morning.
Morning.
Usually nobody here. Al, hey guys, that's his breakfast. Did you leave him alone? You see the 3-pounder that keeps reaching over there? Are you fishing?
Yeah, yeah.
It didn't look like a peacock bass, but it just keeps reaching. It's about this big.
Mullet.
Is mullet freshwater?
Yeah, they've come out, there's loads of them. You'll see them come right out, they're all up and down.
It looked like a mullet. I'm like, what the hell's a mullet doing in here?
Yeah, no, there's loads
Hey,
in there.
Albus, that's not your bread, buddy. Come on, boy. Sorry.
That's all right. I think I'm going to set this up as a float. I'll get a waggler on this and get this set up. Literally seen. They'd be up by now. If they're on the top, they'd be up by now. So I think they are a little bit a bit more in the deeper water. Oops. So again, just nothing. There's nothing too special about this. A couple of locking shot, a couple of shots down the line. Dead simple. Go size 12 to 7 pound hook length. Sounds insane, but yeah, they've got to kind of get these guys out. I reckon it's probably going to be about 6-7 feet deep off the edge of these reeds. Maybe sort of 7 feet deep there. Just past the edge of the lilies. I don't want to go right on the edge. So I reckon that's sort of 7 feet there. Oh, 6 foot, so 6.5, so yeah, pretty much 7 feet. Let's see if we can get something on the float. Anything will do. And what I'm going to do is just move some bits out. Hello again. Come out of there. Not gonna lie, it's the first time I've seen somebody with proper sized dogs. They seem to love these chihuahuas and just small little dogs. There, look, that little rat running across there. Like alligator food. Maybe that's why there's so many alligators here, because of all the little dogs. I don't know. I like dogs, but above a certain size. Oh, that was a bite. Yes, here we go. Oh. Oh. Here we are. What's this? Out straight away. I reckon it's a Midas. I'd say he's going to be a cichlid. Going well. That's it. I think that's it. Yeah, it's a cichlid. They can all fight. Oof, get out of them weeds. Here we go. Mullered it. That's probably the biggest one of the trip. Yeah, he's a decent sized one. Something that has so many spines and teeth, it surprises me we get them on bread. Let's see if there's any more out there. Just he mullered that straight away. Pretty much on the, as soon as it got down there. A bit further away off the lilies there, but still close to the tree. Yeah, straight away. Didn't even settle. This is not very big. What's this? Still some good scrap though. Go on straight in. What's this? It's a bluegill. Love these. Pretty little fish. And they, again, but look, spines, it's full of spines everywhere. There we go. Oop. God, I tried to think what we could catch on here. I forgot some maggots. A little nibble on the drop then. Ooh. That's the first time I've had the float dip like that. And again. So I've been here an hour. I've had 2 fish in an hour. But to be fair, they've both just come in the last 10 minutes. I think it was last year on here, I remember seeing a couple of koi. We'd obviously had some koi and dumped them in here. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to be crop food because they're going to stick out like anything, but yeah, I did see a couple of koi. The only, again, downside is with, you know, koi is they're going to breed like wano in here if they get enough go in, and you're just going to end up with like loads of very dark koi, essentially, you know, reverting back to carp colours, and they will overtake. What they do is they'll just chalk the banks, increase the turbidity. Yeah, the rivers will go chocolatey, muddy colour, as we see in the commercials back home. Again, we got a flurry of activity and then nothing. It's just like the fish are just constantly moving in shoals. Just move up and down the canals, and you get a few as they pass through and then gone. Very few fish topping. Keep humming a lot. If you saw a place like this back home, you'd be thinking tench, bream, probably carp. Although proper carp, like wildy type fish, not commercial. Look at it, it is pretty cool. And then you've got the lake behind us, which again, I have fished. So I came in, I think it was October one year. So it was end of October. So it was actually significantly warmer. And the lake behind was just madness. It was just float fishing for bluegills and cichlids, the odd bass. And then last year I was here, this time, sort of late December, January. Couldn't get a bite in it. And to me, it didn't feel any less hot, but I think it's the overnight temperatures. It cools down, it just cools the water down. Just dips. Nothing positive. Go on. That's snatchy. I mean, it could be fish eating the shot. Yeah, you just never know. Could be a turtle. Just never seems to develop into anything. Really frustrating. Oh, go on. Yes. Oh, no. No. Lumped it. Oh. Well, how annoying is that? Nearly bumped it. Bit better, that's better, just slightly off the ledge there, that's where we want to be. Oh, something took that on the drop then. Yeah, here we go. What's this? It's a bluegill, I think. He's snag big. No, he's not. Here we go. Ooh. All these spines out, he's pissed. Just gorge her on him. Wasn't much easier there. Here we go. Firelight tigers, lovely little fish. Settled nicely. Where he's gone. Again, didn't go on. Oh, bumped it. What's going on there? Flipping heck. So annoying. See, people associate Florida with sort of saltwater fishing. And actually there's some pretty good freshwater fishing to be had. Yeah, I'm a coarse angler, so that's what I want to fish for, is, you know, sort of freshwater species. You know, it's as simple as that, really. So yeah, that's where I'm at. That's what I want to do. Don't get me wrong, I do dabble in the sea, but in Florida you need 2 licenses. You need a saltwater license and a freshwater license, and I've only got a freshwater one, which is $47 for the year, which is comparable to, I guess, the Environment Agency license back home. However, there's no day tickets, no season tickets, no syndicates. You know, if you can gain access to it publicly, you can fish it on that license. That's flipping. Here he goes. Oh, look at him. Is he going to go again? He's a big old mullet, I'll tell you that. Here he goes again. They are really acrobatic fish. Here we go, what's this? This feels a bit better. Oh, it's a grass carp. It's a grassy. It's a grassy. Oof. Oof. It's a grassy. Oh, don't want him to go in them weeds. It looks a good size as well. Oh. Oh, it looks a good one. Well, I never. I'll take my time with it. I don't want him to get him in too close with all this weed. Don't go through weeds. Turned him, I've turned him, I've turned him. Yes, yes, he's in, he's in. Oh, he's a good one, he's a good one. Oh, oh Jesus, look at the size of that. That's a kipper. Oh. Wow, that's a big one. He's got to be over 20. Waggler, and he's just nickels. Oh. Right, let's get him weighed. So, oh. $22.6 with the net. So let's have a look at him. Just going to double check that. $22. We're at 22 with the net. Really calm down. So. Oh, big ugly lump. But. Whoa, look at that. The size of it. Waggler fished a little bit of bread. Size 12 hook. Down the margins. And we've had one. I mean, that net's 36 inches, so he's got to be close to 40 inches. Let's get him back because it's very warm. Oh. Let him rest for a minute. And there he goes. 20. So it's 22 with the net. So is it going to be over 20 pound? Let's find out. I reckon it's probably just going to be just under. £20, 4 ounces. What? Unbelievable. I love grass carp. Them and crucians are the only two carp I really like. I quite like ghosties as well, but 20 and a quarter. That's my Florida PB. That's my Florida PB, that is. Nifty. I'm worn out. I'm worn out. I'm not going to lie, he was very obliging. He was very obliging. But, oh, knock me drink over. Don't care. Definitely treating myself to an IHOP today. And it was just literally on a little pinch of bread. Size 12 hook, £10 main line, £7 bottom. Flipping happy days. Should we see if we get another one? I think it's that one I saw earlier, to be fair. I'm sure I saw one. Let's go and top it with a little bit of, a few bits around, see if we can tempt them in again. All I've done is like fed 15-20 bits of bread like that. It's amazing how one fish can just change your outlook on a session. You know, 2.5 hours for a 20-pounder. Oh, this cloud cover's nice. It's just cool. A little bit of a breeze. It's definitely more manageable. Terrapin right by the float. You can see him out there. He's about 18 inches this side of my waggler. I've done alright so far this year on this trip because none of them have actually eaten my floats. That normally happens at least once. I can just see a little baby peacock bass. Oh, there's a couple of them. Just down in this little edge here. If you saw that back home, you just think it was a perch. Because they tend to have stripes when they're really small, and then they kind of lose the stripes and go more mottled as they get bigger. Oh, go on. I don't know what, there's something not right there. Yes, we're in. I think it's a turtle. In fact, I'm convinced it's a turtle. Yeah, it's another snapper. Ah. No, I say snapper. I call them snappers. They're not snapping turtles. These are soft shells. I don't like them. I don't want to touch them. I don't do anything with them. They've got their long necks that are just a nightmare. Need to kind of get him out a bit and then ugh. Release shot. I'm gonna unceremoniously just ooh. Where are you going, mate? Flipping horrible. Right, to guess, I'd say it was a turtle. Yeah. Different species this time, but so it's a little slider this time. These are a bit easier to handle, he says, so we'll turn him upside down. Forceps. Git, stop pulling. Stop pulling and I can unhook you. He's out. Off he goes. Release shot. There he goes. He's very cross with me. I think it's time to go home, because it's another bloody turtle. So yeah, that's definitely home time. He's got it caught around his fin, so this might be the time to kind of get him in the net. The most unceremonious landing ever. I don't think he knows he's in the net yet, but he's in. Oh, that's a big fish.
It was at this moment that he knew.
That's a big fish. Jesus Christ, that's big.